Hey Campus Georgia, you're going to get two intros out of this video. If you watched my live, this explains. You'll see what I was talking about. Really struggling. I decided to put this video out because I wanted to show people that you need to be aware. When I edited this video, I was shocked. But hey, I learned something. And if you watch my live, well, you'll understand. Let's check it out. I started this video about a week ago. Bad timing. I was frustrated, trying to keep my mind off things and everything, and I decided I need to do something, so I decided to do this. Unfortunately, I didn't even record what I was doing. I had the idea going and I got all excited and started without even thinking about it. So like I said, I had started doing the project and just didn't press record, did all sorts of silly things. Well, here I am here now. And where I am is I managed to salvage some of the video showing me making the slip. As you know, on my last mail call, the big one, not the live, I got a bunch of leather. And some of that leather was this, right? Remember this? And I thought, I have a knife where the scales kind of sort of match that in color. So I thought, perfect. It had some little pieces sticking out the edges, so I cut that off and it was enough to make a slip with it. So I did. So here we are with the slip. I didn't show you the knife or anything. So I put it in the rust remover. It needs a lot of cleanup on the blades and that sort of thing, but it's in good condition. The blades are pretty good and everything like that. So right now it's sitting in the rust remover and I'm about to take it out. Here is the slip. Okay. This leather is very thin, very floppy. I want to use it more because I like this alligator, lizard, whatever style it is. It's pretty cool and it's different. So now I've got to get the knife ready. So I've got to take it out of the rust remover and let's go from there. You're all caught up now. needs to be cleaned. Oh yeah, it took off a lot of the goop, the heavy stuff. So that's a good thing. I'm going to give it a quick rub on the blades here, just to get the heavy stuff off. Then we will wash it in some warm water and then get on with this thing. There's a lot of goop in the wells, so let's just see if we can get most of the rough stuff out. Look at that. Wow. So here it is here. You can see what I was talking about. This is so here's the knife here. Now I just wiped it off and everything after the rust remove and just cleaned the wells a little bit here. Now this is a 2-blade jackknife from Hammer brand. Here's the info here. And you can see it's pretty cool. We all know that Hammer brand is an imperial byproduct, was considered one of their cheaper, not as fancy knives. And I love these guys. They're unusual. The styling and everything pretty common, but their handles in that were a little hokey. You can see here. Okay. The colors were off the wall for most people. And you can see what I'm saying here, how kind of sort of matches the leather. And that's why I chose to do that. I thought it would look pretty cool. So you can see it has that clip on it and a pen blade. The pen blade, if you look, hopefully I can show you this. Let me get some more light. The pen blade is in really good condition, shape and everything like that. It's beat up, it's been badly sharpened, the tip's a little, messed up. Not a big deal, easy to fix, he says. The clip, same thing. It's in pretty good condition. They didn't change the shape or anything. So many of these, for some reason, people took off the belly. Don't know why. Maybe they were making whittlers for it because it would make a better whittler. But the sharpening, let me show you here. See how, I don't know what they use. It looks like a file or a really heavy wheel. It's not good. Even the edge of the blade is uneven. So we'll have to fix it up. And we can do that on the sharpening system I have. Starting off with a heavy grit, just to get that rough edge off, clean it up, and get it reasonably smooth across, and then we can sharpen it up and get them all sharp and shiny. So there's the knife. I've shown you that now. So we're ahead of the game here. So what I'm going to do now is take this up and wash it off in some warm water, get all the rust remover off and all that good stuff, and then we can start making it shiny, and then we'll sharpen it. So here we are. I've washed it off, got all the nastiness off, and now we're going to start on the blades. And yeah, they're rusty and patinaed. We'll have to clean up the outsides. The bolsters are a little rough. They could do with a nice cleanup. Just old age, really. And the same on the springs and your liners. And then clean out the wells. I'm going to clean them up before I start fixing the shapes. So we'll get them clean, then we'll get the shape kind of where we want to, like fix the tips, and then we'll sharpen them. So the usual methods start with 400 on the blades, then go to 1000, 2000 and polish. And basically the same thing on the rest. There's not going to be a lot that I can do about this side's in pretty good condition. The scale was sitting nice and tight on there. This side, not as much. Some water or whatever got in there and made it a little bit dirty, but it's underneath. I don't want to take the scales off. They're really delicate and very thin. So, doing that, the chances of breaking it are pretty good. I can live with that. You can see the real side of it on this side, not so much here. So here we go. Okay, I decided to come outside. It's a really nice day, a little windy, but it beats being in the cottage. Got my Dremel with 400 grit on it, and we're just going to get all the heavy stuff off. Need to get my safety gloves. If you look here, you can still see how deep those grind marks are on the blade. Hopefully the 400 is going to get this. So once again, when you do the sandpaper, the heavy stuff, you want everything in the same direction from now on, so that you get a consistent grind. Got to get rid of those grind marks, well, as much as we can, without removing too much metal. Don't want to be doing that. Need that support on the blade, otherwise you're putting a lot of pressure on it. So put the blade on something you can take some of the strain on the blade. So I've gone over it here with the 400, and you can see that the obvious scratches are reduced. They're not gone, but they're a lot less than they were. Now, if I try to get them all off, the blade's going to end up being that thin, and the depth will reduce, and I don't want to do that. So you have to make a compromise. So now I'm going to go on to 1000 grit and then 2000. And then we'll polish it and see how it looks. And then we'll have to do the pen blade. So I've got the 1000 here. I'm going to wet it. It is wet dry. It is a good thing to do. If you're using like a Dremel or something with this kind of grit, you want to wet it for two reasons. One, it helps get rid of the buildup in the actual sandpaper. And two, it helps keep the blade cool. You don't want to overheat your blade. The chances of me doing that by hand are pretty slim, but you will be surprised. You will feel it getting warm. You don't want to overdo it. So we're off to the races again. We want to see if we can get more polish out of it. So I haven't really cleaned it off, but you can see the smooth parts are really nice and shiny, and you can actually see how bad that the edge is, but the sharpening will take care of that. We'll clean up the choil and we're going to polish it. Now I'm going to get onto the pen blade. The pen blade, you can see it there. Now I started on this side and it's pretty badly pitted, but we can get it to shine, and then we're on to the rest. So here we are at the 400. Now I'm going to go to 1000 and then the 2000. So here you can see 400, 1000, 2000. And they look pretty good, but there is a lot of deep scratching on these things. Let's see if I can show it to you. I don't know if you can see that. But there's still some serious scratches on here, and I can't take much of it off. I've taken off a lot, and it's shiny, looks a lot better, but it's still really scratched. I don't want to go any further because I'm going to take off too much metal. Still got to shine it, get points on the blades and sharpen them and just shape them so that they're better, because, man, they're pretty beat up. If I run my finger along the bottom here, I can feel the indents in it. Next, bolsters, the fake bolsters, the springs and the liners in here, and finish cleaning up the wells. So let's do that now. Really got to be careful about these. They're not very thick. You want to rub them down, so I'm going to try avoid hitting them. These blades are so dull. Oh well, what do you do? I'm going to go with some 1000 on the bolsters, and then we're going to polish them. We'll do 2000 and polish. They're very rough. There's a lot of nicks in them. I just want to get rid of the bad rough nicks. They look a little shinier. It looks a little bit more presentable. So now I'm going to polish it, but I'm going to use my mother's polish, but I'm going to try it using the Dremel and see if it polishes up better. Wow, much better than I can do by hand. That's a shock. Well, let's keep at it. Well, that mother's makes quite a difference. Get that blade. Look how much shinier it is. It's still pitted and everything, but it's certainly a lot shinier. In fact, the whole knife is. Very nice. There you can see it now. Certainly a lot cleaner and shinier. Now we just need to sharpen. Yay for Dremel and mothers. Nice. I made them too sharp now. Still not snap on that one. We'll work that a little bit more. So here you can see the knife now. Certainly looks a lot better than it did. Unfortunate, can't do much about these. And to show you just how thin these are, look here. They started to crack and peel off. So I had to stop what I was doing. But it looks a lot cleaner, a lot better. The blades, the mothers really help, but you can still see just how much pitting and scratching there was on the blades. But it's not as obvious as it was before. And of course the bolsters, the liners really cleaned up nice inside. So kind of surprised. I like Hammer brand because they're not that common. You don't find a lot of them. And when you do, they normally just destroy it. So luckily, this one, not too bad. As you know, they're part of Imperial. So you can see the tang stamp there. You can see it here. This is the dating for it. So there you go. And of course, I told you I just made I wanted to try this leather. And I figured these two would go together. So I cut a piece off. I didn't want to waste too much of it. And made a very quick slip here. And of course, this guy goes in like that. Pretty cool. Nothing fancy, but a fun little project. And we learned something. Mothers and Dremel go together. For one thing, you know, this leather is a lot softer than I thought it would be. So we're going to have to be careful where we use it. My hammer, two-bladed jack, a little slip, some alligator lizard. You will be safe out there, especially when you're working with this stuff. You know, I just sharpened the blades. I'd been so used to not having a sharp blade there. I had to pay attention, so remember that. Just saying. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be right back. I got a lot of stuff to do. I have a new box of tricks, and if you look, this was a box given to me by a subscriber, and it had stimulus on it. So I put my next projects in there, the ones I want to work on. And yeah, it's an optional. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And we'll see you again soon.